China is simply taking manufacturing jobs and taking advantage of low wages. The U.S. is importing cheap goods and thereby having cheaper products, but also putting strains on our employment base. The relationship is much more complex than that, and it has much more potential than that. China is one of the top markets for American exports. We're now exporting more than $100 billion a year in goods and services to China, and that supports about 500,000 American jobs from manufacturing to agriculture. And in fact, our exports to China are growing nearly twice as fast as our exports to the rest of the world. Of course, here in the United States, we've got one of the most open economies in the world, and that makes us a top destination for Chinese exports, but also Chinese investment. It is important, I think, to note that even with China's enormous population, the United States still does more trade with Europe than it does with China. That, I think, gives an indication of the amount of progress that can be made if we are consulting with each other, if we are hearing specifically from businesses in terms of how we can ease some of the frictions that exist in our trading relationship. And so my hope is that today, in the brief time that we have, we'll be able to hear some concrete ideas about how we make sure that the trade is fair, that there is a level playing field, how can we protect intellectual property, how can we promote innovation, how can both of our governments remove barriers to trade and barriers to job creation. And with China's growing middle class, I believe that over the coming years we can more than double our exports to China and create more jobs here in the United States. And I'm sure that Chinese business leaders see enormous opportunities here as well. So with that, I'd like to just turn it over briefly to President Hu, and then maybe we can hear from some of the leaders around the table.
And as we watch this is a fascinating